Hey guys, welcome back to the Owlery. My name is Aaron, and today I'm bringing you a Wizarding Challenges video. Today I'm going to be soloing Tower Chamber 2. I wanted to kind of implement some of the lessons that I've been learning through my profession page. So I'm a professor, and the things that I've been focusing on are power, precision, critical power, and accuracy. So those are the big ones that I'm focusing on so far, at least with the restricted section books that I've gotten through the event that's been going on up until today. Power is the amount of damage a combatant can inflict against a foe. Precision is the chance a successful spell cast will result in a critical cast. Critical power is the amount of additional damage done when landing a successful critical hit. And then accuracy is the amount of increased accuracy a combatant has against an evasive foe. So the ones that move around a little more frequently, like the pixies. So you can see here that this guy is doing a significant amount of damage. Pretty much 2 of my hits equal 1 of his. So I loaded up on potions. I brewed a ton of healing potions to make sure that I could get through this. You can see I used the next stimulus though potion there because I got a little nervous. But for the most part, I just stacked really on healing. The healing spell that the professor has is pretty limited in its ability to do much in the way of heals. But the amount of DPS that I've been able to produce since moving through the lessons and utilizing the restricted section books has really made up for my lack of self-heals. You can see here that I am doing a significant amount of damage, especially when I get a crit. I've been focusing a lot on the crit power, so when I get a crit, it really does a good job of knocking through these formidable foes. Another thing I'd like to bring up is the debuffs. So the Professor's debuff is a hex, and it's great as a passive form of DPS, so I've been putting a lot of skill points into that, trying to power that up as much as possible. So every time one of these foes attacks me or tries to break through my Protego charm, they actually receive some damage, which is really helpful. And you'll see here, not only with this foe, but with the next foe, it really helps me out a lot. So that brings up another thing, is you have to be prepared when you're going into these instances. You have to make sure that you have your potions on board. You have to make sure that you know and understand your class. So if you're a Magizoologist, you have to make sure that you understand that you're going to be more of a tank class in the end with some secondary emphasis on heals. If you're an Auror, you have to understand and how to move through your damage per second, that you're going to be the spellcaster that's going to be doing the most damage throughout these instances, and that you're going to be sort of like a glass cannon, essentially. Your lack of stamina will have to be compensated by your increased amount of DPS. The professor, on the other hand, is sort of the jack of all trades, master of none. So you're going to be a fairly well-balanced character, but at the same time, you're not going to be as effective in either of those other categories that the Magizoologist or the Auror will be. I find that the professor is probably your best for solo efforts, though. So when you're moving through these higher level instances as a solo player, that the professor is probably going to be your best bet so far. That doesn't mean that these things are going to get nerfed or they're going to get changed. Niantic is known for doing that, but for the most part, it's fairly well balanced at this point as far as DPS and heals go. So you can see here with this imposing werewolf that I was doing a fairly good job of trying to manage my HP and his HP at the same time. But towards the end of this battle, if things start to get pretty hairy, I start to get a little cavalier and lose emphasis on my own self-heals with the potions, feeling that my DPS is going to make up for it. But like again, as I said, I'm not an Auror, I'm a professor, so the amount of DPS that I can pump out isn't going to be anywhere as near as severe as the Auror can produce. So you can see he's taking huge hits, especially when you have to do multiple Protegos in a row. So I'm down to 26 HP. I thought that right here that I was going to be able to knock him down, but I didn't. And then watch this. This is a double KO. Boom, right there, 2 zeros. And I was really bummed out. I thought for sure that I was out of it, but Niantic gave it to me. So the tie goes to the player, just like the tie goes to the runner in baseball. for you baseball fans out there. So that's really great. It made me feel really good about myself, and this game does a good job of the positive reinforcement, as I've said before. So I just wanted to let you guys know that I will be covering the Community Day event at Comic-Con this year. So I live here in San Diego, so I will be going down and enjoying the festivities. I didn't get a ticket, but I will be playing Wizards Unite all throughout downtown San Diego, and I'm really looking forward to bringing you that coverage. I'm working on finishing my rig for my camera, and so I hope to bring you guys that information. Thanks for stopping by the Owlery, guys, and I appreciate your time, as always. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.